I'm about to take that off the screen. Yeah. Just go back to this for a minute. What's up, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? What's up? Give me a second. Y'all give me a quick second right here, man. Hold up. Say. I seen a bunch of fucking emojis in the chat a minute ago. I don't know what that was about. I think I know why, but it's just funny. Let's see. Why is my background white? Why is everything white? What's going on? Oh, this damn paper. Finna say, what is this shit white? Appreciate y'all watching the show. Appreciate y'all coming through. Welcome back to the channel. Y'all gotta bear with me for a second. I just took a nap. I woke up, got on here because I had woke up and I started listening to a Twitter space, and I had heard some other stuff from the other day about, you know, black Americans and a African business of a video I saw. I'm gonna show it to y'all in a second. And I've been hearing this stuff about boycott African businesses. I've been hearing this stuff about boycotting African businesses and shit. Then I started asking myself the question: is anybody really going to boycott these businesses? As I was listening to a space earlier this morning, and they was talking about it, and most of them was saying like that they wasn't gonna boycott it. You know, they had a certain hairstylist that they wasn't gonna change, and they love going to this one particular shop, and they haven't had an issue with Africans doing hair. And I was thinking, man, when it comes to other black people, you never hear them saying those same. You never hear them talking about, oh, I went to this one black guy and he did such a great job. I've never had no issues. I don't want to change. Instead, I always hear them saying shit like they did one little thing and they was ready to make a change right then and there. Any little thing that's wrong with a black person's business, black people are usually so ready to jump ship on them. But when it comes to the Africans and whoever else, they're not so quick to change. They wanna keep it the same. They don't want to lose that. They don't want to lose it. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about all this, cause like I say, I just kind of been keeping my eye on it as of today. But this was the clip that I saw when I heard everybody saying boycott these African businesses. Oh, it's not even playing? Hold up. Now I gotta start it over. It wasn't even playing, y'all. My bad. I'm playing it, but y'all, it's not. I guess I gotta refresh this down. Okay, let me try it now.
Check this out, y'all.
There you
A
go.
salon which employs over 400 people and seats
There you
150
go.
customers at once? Let's dive in. Nadine Drico is a Cameroonian, a visionary founder of Nadine's Hair Braiding, a successful salon located in Bowie, Maryland that operates 24/7.
Listen, man, we gonna shut all this shit down. Ladies, listen, our culture first. They don't care. Of course, they gonna smile in your face because you spending money. They denigrated your motherfucking ancestors, denigrated our culture, say we ain't shit. They definitely practice white supremacy. They are colonizers, they are leeches. We are shutting everything down, ladies. Go to a different spot to get your hair done. I'm not saying go around looking crazy. I'm not saying that. But our culture has to come first. You know what I mean? I know we want to look good, but not by them. Go somewhere else. Shut this shit down, and we build our own fucking salons, our own business. They are at 451 Mitchellville Road, Bowie, Maryland. All right, this is exactly where they at. Nadine's Hair Braiding. Shut this shit down, man. Shut it down. We shutting everything down, ladies. Please. I know we on code. This is her shop. Yes, we on code. But listen, you know they don't give two fucks about us, and you know they ain't hiring no black ladies in there. All them people in there working is African. Not saying it's a problem, but they understand economic.
And y'all know they ain't hiring black folks. Y'all know they ain't hiring no black folks, and yet y'all still be supporting this stuff. Y'all talking about how y'all not gonna stop supporting. Y'all love going to your African braider. Keep in mind, I remember when a lot of black women used to do their own hair. Like, whatever happened to that? I remember when women was going to beauty shops, and they still do. But I mean, I remember women would go to each other's houses. They homegirl knew how to do a certain style or do something particular to their hair that they liked, and they would just go over there. I don't even see them doing that. I see them finding somewhere else to go. Let alone we already have the Chinese, or I don't know if it's the Chinese. Yeah, it's the Chinese who own most of the beauty supply stores. I know some around here that they own quite a few. Now I think it's maybe what Vietnamese or Thai or people from Thailand, Thai. They look like they Asian, but not the Japanese or Chinese.
Wealth. They understand by uh, um, self-preservation. That's what they doing. They're hiring their own fucking people, their culture.
And two, let's be honest, it ain't nothing wrong with that because you know what? We can do the same thing that they doing. I don't know what black people don't get. We can do the same stuff that they do, but we don't do it. We don't practice those type of group economics. We outsource stuff from other people, and then when we try to support our own, we want them to give us a discount or a freebie. Like a business can't survive giving everybody discounts and freebies. They can't give you a cheap rate because you their cousin all the time. So they come to you, man, it's my cousin. He gonna do it for free, or he gonna do it for $10, 15. Like you can't do that. If we want to survive and thrive, we gotta be full participants in group economics. That's just how it is. So I hear them talking about they hiring their own, which is why we shouldn't be going to these businesses, and we should be starting our own businesses and hiring our own people, buying our supplies from our own people. We need people in our community who can become suppliers. That would be one of the biggest things that would help us out greatly. I think Professor Claude Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson, was talking about that. I heard somebody was saying that he had a fish, some type of fish warehouse or something in California he was trying to start, or he did start it. But that's what we need. We need black people who are suppliers. That way we can enrich him, and basically that supplier can enrich the community by getting more supplies, hiring more employees, having a bigger facility to house these supplies and employees. And we can make it one big circle. He distributes to black businesses. Black businesses give services to black Americans. Black Americans support. And a lot of these businesses should actually be in black communities. That's why that's where we could get rid of a lot of gang violence and a lot of poverty if we put a lot more businesses in our communities and supported those businesses so that they would thrive and hire their own in the community.
By using our dollars. Get on fucking code, y'all, and stop fucking playing. Stop playing. This is their shit. Shut this shit down, y'all. For real. Black people, stop playing. I'm not gonna talk your head off. We know what we need to do. Everybody make videos about this. Share this. Share this. Make this the norm. Shut this shit down. Shut it down. Shut this motherfucker down. Spread the fucking word. PSA. Spread the word. Shut it down. And I'm gone.
So are we gonna shut it down or what? What they gonna do? I guarantee you it's still gonna be people going to that shit. I gotta go over there, girl. I got an appointment. They do good jobs. You can't find somebody black to do it? I don't like the way they do it. I don't trust them. I don't like they sister. They cousin be in the shop and he be looking at me. That's the bullshit. But I did see this post from this lady, because I think somebody else had posted it. But I don't know how I stumbled across the actual article. Her name was Kiana Lawson. Says she rejects proposed African business boycott. How do you boycott your own people? What's up, Dark Kent? I got the article right here. Let's see, let me move it over real quick. Make it where y'all can see it. What's up, Tim? We talking about the boycott of African businesses that's supposed to be August the 1st. And my question is, will we be participating in that, or is people still gonna go ahead and purchase their services of these African businesses and support them? Because it sound good, but like I said, I was in the space earlier this morning and a few minutes ago, and I was hearing people still, I don't want to stop going to my particular hairstylist. I like going to them, but when you get a black person who does these same services, You find any and every reason why you can't go to them, why they did a bad job, why you need a discount, and other decisions like that. So what I was recently just showing a clip of the actual. This is what I'm assuming started this off was a video talking about an African braiding place. And hold on, matter of fact, I ain't got time. I just play it. I just play it again, bro.
Check this out, y'all.
Salon which employs over 400 people and seats 150 customers at once? Let's dive in. Nadine Drico is a Cameroonian, a visionary founder of Nadine's Hair Braiding, a successful salon located in Bowie, Maryland that operates 24/7.
Listen, man, we gonna shut all this shit down. Ladies, listen, our culture first. They don't care. Of course, they're gonna smile in your face because you spending money. They denigrated your motherfucking ancestors, denigrated our culture, say we ain't shit. They definitely practice white supremacy. They are colonizers, they are leeches. We are shutting everything down, ladies. Go to a different spot to get your hair done. I'm not saying go around looking crazy. I'm not saying that. But our culture has to come first. You know what I mean? I know we want to look good, but not by them. Go somewhere else. Shut this shit down, and we build our own fucking salons, our own
Did he
business.
fucking pause?
They are at 451.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Can y'all see that? What happened to the video? Can you still see the video? Did it just disappear? What the fuck?
Black ladies in there. All them people in there working is African. Not saying it's a problem, but they understand economic wealth. They understand by, uh, um, self-preservation. That's what they doing. They're hiring their own fucking people, their culture, by using
Okay,
our
it's back.
dollars. Get on fucking code and stop fucking playing. Stop playing. This is their shit. Shut this shit down, y'all. For real. People, stop playing. I'm not gonna talk your head off. We know what we need to do. Everybody make videos about this. Share this. Share this. Make this the norm. Shut this
I'm still here.
shit down. Shut it down. Shut this motherfucker down. Spread the fucking word. PSA. Spread the word. Shut it down. And I'm gone.
All right. There you have it. What you say, Tim? You know what? If the super chats pop up, I don't know how I would do it on here. But anyway, Tim says most FBA men don't go to African businesses, not on purpose, but we just don't hang with them like that. Yeah. I think until you realize that it's an African, that's when you kind of like, okay, let me move around. Cause I don't eat African foods. Um, it's a lot of businesses that I've seen that's African that I don't support. I'm just not in it. I'm not into it. I'm not into the foods. I'm not into definitely not the clothes. I don't get my hair cuts or anything by no Africans or anything like that. So I have no reason to even support African businesses. Darkin says some of these African businesses be looking like they already struggling from lack of support. That's a fact. They be looking dead in the water when they open it up. They look bad. But like I say, I think it was started off from this post. I don't know if it specifically started off from this post, but when I started hearing about it, this was the post that was floating around when they were saying not to support these African businesses. This was the shop that I just kept seeing come down my timeline when they was talking about this. So I kind of assumed it was because of the amount of employees and where it was and who it was done by. So that was my assumption of it. Tim say black women spend billions on their hair, feet, and nails. Yep. And they always go to these Asians and Africans. Asians and Africans. And like I was saying, I was in spaces and I was hearing them talking about how they wasn't about to change. They didn't want to go to another person. They like their African hairstylist and they've been going to her for years. And I was saying, bro, I remember the days when I remember so many black women used to go over each other's house and get their hair done or do their own hair. You know, like their homegirl knew how to do something that they would like and they would just go over there and get their hair done. Now it's like, nah, I got to go spend X amount of dollars with some foreigner just so they can give me some service that's not from a black American. Because if I got it from a black American, all I'm going to do is complain and find a reason why I don't need to go over there no more. So that's all I was saying. Tim also says New York FBA men got Latinos cutting their hair. Bro, they be talking about that in spaces. They always get on them about they Latinos and Caribbeans and all of that shit. If you ever in Twitter spaces, man, that's like a big thing between the FBA is the New York population of black American men and the southern population of black American men. It's that, and then they always say like down here we have Latinos, Caribbeans, whites using the N word in rap music and nobody's saying nothing. So they play that against us, and then they talk about them, you know, getting their hair, working with all of these Caribbeans, mixing and mingling, having kids with them. They talk about all of that shit too. So yeah, that's funny, cause bro, that's like it's like heated when it gets into that type of discussion. Motherfuckers get mad, you know. It's like the claws come out then. Then it's almost as if we not even on the same team. That's the funny part. That's the funny part, man. It's like everybody hate each other all of a sudden. So, yeah. But yeah, I seen this article from this lady, Kiana Lawson, right here. Says she rejects proposed African business boycott. How do you boycott your own people? Oh, and it came out today. Okay, that's probably why I hadn't seen it. But I did see a post by her. I'm gonna show y'all that. Where she was talking about this. But yeah, I guess this came out today, so this is the reason why I'm just now seeing it. Says realtor and public relations consultant Kiana Lawson is pushing back against a controversial call by a fringe group. You know who they talking about. They talking about FBA. They call it, for one, they call us a fringe group. And then they call us it's just something that's online. But it's bullshit. It's because now you hear a lot of people using it. You hear a lot of people saying the word FBA. I've heard Jason Whitlock say that he's a foundational. I've heard him say he's foundational. Ryan, what's his name? Is it Ryan Coogler? Ryan Coogler was saying that he's foundational. I've heard a couple of people that's very prominent people say foundational black. I even heard white people saying it. They had Ann Coulter saying it. She was like, all the rights are supposed to benefit foundational black Americans over here. All of this stuff. She was one of the first people to talk about the 14th Amendment and how it was for foundational black Americans. It wasn't for Latinos, gays. It wasn't for all of these other people that they tried to stick it to. Tim says most Africans won't join FBA churches and start their own. Yeah, they don't want to be around black people. We always known that. See, the funny part is they get mad at us about it, how we delineating and saying, we a different group and we are our own and we have our own culture. It's like they don't want us even saying that. But it was a point in time where they was like, no, I'm Nigerian. I'm African. I am not a black American. I'm not black American. They would always make that be known. Hell, they do it in their own countries. They say, I'm Yoruba. All these different tribes that they from. But they all the same people over there, but they still delineate. But when it comes to us, and because we've done so many things, and we say that that's our culture, they get mad because they want to be a part of it, and they want to try to piggyback off of everything that we've done, and relate everything that we've done to Africans, and it's not true. We so far removed from them that we are our own, just like any other race of people. That's why you have Italians, you got Europeans, Italians. Who else you got? Russians. They are white people, but they different. They're different. But when it comes to us, now we supposed to be all the same. It's what they call that term when they say one big nigga. Black folks are supposed to be all one big nigga. And we not. We not one big nigga. But back to the article. Yep, yes, the truth. That's the truth. A tribal mess is what got our ancestors trapped into slavery, Tim says. Yeah. Got us put in slavery, and they were selling us. So now y'all sold all of us. That's one reason why some of us got here. And now y'all want to be a part of it. Now y'all all of a sudden welcome me. Which is a lie, because when black people go over there, they just try to take from you. You don't own anything. We know about people going over there trying to own land and businesses, and they quickly confiscate it. After they done built it up, put a house on it or a business, they confiscate it and say that they don't own it. They take it from them. So why would anybody go over there and do anything with those people? Damn, it's thundering. It sounds like it's about to rain. But the article, I'm back to the article, it says, realtor and public relations consultant Kiana Lawson is pushing back against a controversial call by a fringe group within the U.S. diaspora to boycott African-owned businesses on August 1st. In a passionate video message shared on social media, Lawson called the boycott proposal ignorant and self-hating, urging Black Americans instead to stand in solidarity with their African brothers and sisters by actively supporting African-owned businesses on that day. Let's counteract this ignorance, Lawson said in her viral video. This doesn't make any goddamn sense. How do you boycott your own people when other communities have done far worse to us, and yet we keep supporting them? The Black beauty entrepreneur slammed the campaign as hypocritical, noting that many of those who promote the boycott have never staged similar actions against Asian, white, or Hispanic-owned businesses that have been accused of exploiting or disrespecting Black communities. And that's a lie. We've seen the Muslims go to I can't remember the video. They went to a beauty store and told them that they wasn't finna support it. I have even seen the Muslims go to a convenience store and tell them if they quit selling, if they don't stop selling like beer and wine or whatever in this community, that they didn't want nobody supporting their business anymore. So everything right there is a lie. We know about boycotts happening at white businesses. We seen it online. And what happens when the white people get boycotted? They come right online and they make a TikTok video or something and say, they be on there crying, I apologize. I made a mistake. I don't hate the Black people. My business is failing. So that was a lie. Instead, Lawson suggested that grievances with individual African owned establishments should be handled constructively and case by case, not with blanket retaliation that could fracture fragile cross cultural alliances. The online campaign, though unsupported by any major civil rights organization, has gained limited traction on social media, mostly among disaffected users who cite negative personal experiences with African owned salons, stores, or restaurants. But Lawson warns such reactions risk deepening divides between African Americans and continental Africans. See, look, that right there is a problem for us. Just that term is a problem for us. That they calling us African Americans and calling them continental Africans. No, those are just Africans, and we are Black Americans. We are not African nothing. Okay. Okay. Sure, we have African in our DNA, but we're not Africans. That's what they don't understand. But I take that back. They understand it. They just don't care. They just gonna keep trying to lump us in with Africans no matter what. No matter what we say. But the funny part is you never hear Jamaicans call themselves African Jamaicans. You never hear Black Brazilians call themselves African Brazilians. You talking about continental Americans? I mean, that would be a better term for us, continental Americans. That's a fact, Tim. The Pan-African movement from the 1960s and 70s are over. That's a fact. Nobody is supporting that shit no more. Nobody is supporting Pan-Africanism, as far as I'm concerned. And as far as I know, a lot of people, they don't rock like that with like Umar does. You know who really rocks with Umar and the Pan-Africans? Black women. You know why? Because he's always talking about black queens forever, white snow bunnies never, whatever that shit is he be saying. So they eat that shit up. Yeah, I like Umar. And he over there knocking them down like bowling pins. He ain't built no school. And all he do now is every time I see Umar, it's about him knocking down some chicks or got some kids that we didn't know that he wasn't taking care of. So based on those reasons there, I just don't even, I quit listening to Umar a long time ago. Once I listened to Umar, it was cool. And then Tariq popped up and I was like, oh, I agree definitely way more with Tariq than I do with Umar. And I just quit listening to Umar. And so I was like, bro, I can't listen to that shit no more. Because he sound like a damn fool. But yeah, every time I see Umar now, all he is talking about some damn chicks, bro. It's always about some chicks. He's hugging on some chick, smiling, just skinning and grinning. He ain't built the damn school. That school ain't never gonna be built. So everybody just lost their money on that shit. He finessed everybody on that one. It goes on to say Lawson challenged her audience to flip the script on August 1st by visiting and intentionally spending money at African-owned businesses ranging from braiding salons to retail shops and restaurants instead of boycotting them. That ain't happening. Broader backlash and support for African businesses. Lawson's position has gained widespread support from voices across the diaspora who viewed the proposed boycott as counterproductive and rooted in misguided resentment rather than a serious attempt at progress. Many see the attempt to divide black communities as part of a larger historical pattern of internalized racism and systemic disunity, pointing to how other ethnic groups have succeeded in part by maintaining strong in-group economic loyalty. She says, there's nothing they need to do to divide us. We can complete the mission ourselves, Lawson warned. Sometimes we really are our own worst enemy. In the wake of Lawson's video, the hashtag #SupportAfricanBiz began trending on X, formerly Twitter, as dozens of creators and activists echoed her sentiment and shared directories of African-owned businesses across the U.S. and beyond. Of course, they shared directories of African-owned businesses, but what they don't realize is that FBA, we can easily take those directories and be like, okay, don't go to these businesses. So that can go both ways. That can go both ways. Goes on the same. Meanwhile, platforms like PanAfricanLifestyle.com have published resources and guides to help members of the diaspora discover and engage with businesses on the continent and in their local communities, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, Kiana. She's suspect anyway with that head. Look at that head, man. Dare I say she's Ethiopian? That's an Ethiopian head. That's definitely an Ethiopian forehead. That's definitely an Ethiopian forehead. Tim says Umar is good for talking history, but he is not business savvy enough to run a school. Yep. I ain't gonna say he dumb or nothing. I agree with you. He's not a stupid individual. He knows the history. It's just the way that he interprets the history. But yeah, he's not. I wouldn't say that he's an idiot or anything like that. He just what he's doing is I don't agree with anymore. I'm so far removed from thinking anything good about Umar. It's funny. Darkin says Umar is a fool. Is a fool though. He has good talking points at times. He does. When it's certain things, you know, he'll come out and you'll see a video where he's talking about something. He got good talking points. I agree with you. He does. He does. He does. Tim says Africans not going to boycott FBA invented magic shave. Ain't no alternatives. Yeah. God, that magic shave shit stink. But you right though. Boy, I remember my daddy using that magic shave. I wonder if he still used that shit. Damn, that shit stank, man. He put that shit on there and get all hard and shit. And then he just like scrape it off. Bro. That shit stinks. It smells like somebody just farted in your house and just stunk it up. Just, I mean, made a mess everywhere. Dark Ken says, I was just thinking that she do got that mega mind dome. Hell yeah. I mean, as soon as you seen it, I bet it came to your mind, because that's what I did. Soon as I found this video, and I was like, damn, she got a big ass head, bro. Why her forehead so big? Why is her forehead so big like that? Like, what the hell's going on? I was like, what the hell is this?
This video is for my African Americans and African brothers and sisters.
You see how she did that? You see how she threw that in there and emphasized it? Everybody who don't like people who call themselves FBA always try to emphasize that when they speak to you. They always emphasize African American. African American. It's like you just gonna make us be African Americans. No, we don't agree with that term. We actually have people that's trying to get the term Black American placed on different documents and on the census so that we can be a separate group. We don't want Black or African American. We don't want that. You need black and African American on that document. Because we're not African American. Like I say, Elon Musk is an African American. It's a lot of white people that are African Americans. Those South Afrikaners who came over here, those are African Americans. The Afrikaners, the white boys in Africa, South Africa, those are Afrikaners.
Specifically for us, I am so confused. Why am I seeing that on August 1st, African Americans or a specific African American has forged a protest against African businesses, from African restaurants, African braiding salons, anything that is African owned? They have started a campaign that on August 1st, we as Black Americans will be boycotting these businesses.
She slipped up. You see, she thought about it too when she said it. She took a pause in there. When she said Black American, she took a pause. She was like, damn, I forgot to stick to the script. I was supposed to call them African Americans. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. Because I guarantee you, the way she's talking, she knows about the whole FBA movement. They know about this stuff. And I hate calling it a movement. I apologize. Because we ain't a movement, man. We're a lineage. Yes, we're a lineage, bro. Don't fucking jump down my ass about that shit. My God. Lord have mercy. That's why I wish a nigga would. Let's go back though. I want to hear that. She paused. Tim says Obama being African and white do absolutely nothing for black people when he was president, led to FBA seeking to separate from non-FBA. Yeah, that was. That was one of the wake-up calls. When Obama was doing everything for lesbians and all of these other groups and you know, other people in the diaspora, we was like, bro, what the fuck? Even Kamala, remember what she said before the election? She was like, I'm not gonna do anything specifically for black folks. No. What's up, Miss Paradise? That's what she said. It's like, I'm not gonna do anything specifically for black folks. No. Y'all remember that? I kept playing the clip over and over and over. So it's just like, bro, Obama and Kamala, that was a wake-up call for us. Obama definitely was. Because we quickly realized he had no intentions of doing anything for black Americans. None. Once you go to the LGBTQ community first, and you the first black president, that says a lot. Now a lot of FBA people, or quote unquote behind Donald Trump, they get mad about that. He ain't gonna do nothing for you. Well, based on his policies and things that he's doing, yeah, it's helping out black Americans. So yeah, that's who I'm rocking with. I won't speak for everybody but me. That's who I'm rocking with. You know? Yeah, Miss Paradise, how you feeling? You recovering? You doing good now? You back on your feet? You're 100%?
That on August 1st, we as Black Americans will be boycotting these businesses. What the fuck is wrong with us?
Nothing.
What is wrong with us just as a people? As Black Americans, African Americans. What the fuck is wrong with us? that it makes sense to boycott African businesses because you may have had a bad experience with a African business. You've also had a bad experience with an Asian business. You've had a bad experience with a white business. You've had a bad experience with a Hispanic business, and so on and so forth. Where's the energy for those businesses?
It's always been energy there. Like I said, people have boycotted those businesses. People have said something about those businesses. People have actually went down, it's on video, visited these businesses and told them that nobody was going to come in there anymore. Hell, I've seen them do it to black businesses that treated people a certain way. So I don't know what she's talking about.
That continuously come into our communities and disrespect us. But you want to start a war, a beef, continue a beef with Africans? Like, make it make sense. We are all one. Sure, we can distinguish ourselves as African American or African, but they look at us all the same. They don't look at an African and say, "Oh, you're African." They don't look at me as an African American and say, "Oh, she's an African American." No, she's a nigga.
Yes, they do. The fuck is you talking about? They've said it. Tim says, I wish Africans would move to Mississippi, would have moved to Mississippi during the Jim Crow era. They ain't ready, dog. They not ready. They would be detrimental to us in the South if they was around back then. Do you see how they are? Do you see how Africans are? When white people come up over there, they just take every fucking thing they got. They strip them people of their damn resources. They open up businesses in their own areas and don't hire them. They extract the resources, take them somewhere else and turn around and sell it back to them for 10 times the price. Their own resources that they could basically get for free. Look what the Asians, I've seen videos of Asians coming over there with businesses and giving people's whoopings and shit. Like, these niggas, they be cowering like, oh my God. And the Asian is whipping them. And they supposedly at work. They sitting up here getting a whooping at work by somebody who shouldn't even be in your country. And y'all outnumber these people. Say you're not moving yet? Okay. You getting there. Oh yeah, you said you was gonna tell me what happened. You're gonna have to tell me what happened. If your business, Tim says, if your business treat black foundational black Americans good, then no boycott will affect you. Miss Paradise. Oh, okay, my bad. I'm reading that. Tim says they got Chinese construction workers building their roads in African countries. Yeah. Making them sign, giving them loans, and they putting this extraordinary interest rate on it where they can't pay it back. So when they default, they basically like either take over the area or they end up controlling the resources. It's some in the paperwork where they can just take something over and they just sign it like a fool. Because let's be honest, there's really no reason for Africans to be living the way that they living in 2025 when a lot of the resources and stuff that like people use for cell phones and the different metals, chemicals, and materials that they find over there. Like, how are y'all broke? What is going on with y'all where y'all just letting people just take y'all shit like that? Like, make it make sense. See, dog can't say right. I seen that video, Rod. I'm telling you. Like, I'm not making this up. For anybody, like, maybe it's just because I'm on Twitter, and if you not on Twitter, then you were probably, man, he just making it, man, he crazy. Dude just making this. I'm telling you, this stuff come down the timeline all the time. All the time. Africans getting us. I mean, a whooping, bro. I seen a dude getting tied up. It was like 5 Africans standing around scared, and it was one Asian dude giving somebody a whooping, like strapped them to a tree. And I'm like, beat this nigga ass. Beat this nigga's ass. Do something. They in fear of their life, and all he got is like a rope or something, like whooping him. Like, y'all gotta be kidding me, dog. They would be a detriment to us if they was around during the Jim Crow. Bro, they'd be selling us out left and right. You think it's bad now? You think the people who used to snitch on slaves, like the Coons and the Sambos, who used to snitch on, man, them as soon as y'all start making plans, an African will go up to the big house and tell on you. He wouldn't even let you get it in motion. That nigga fly out of there so quick. Or if y'all did get away and y'all better tell us who so-and-so left and how they, man, he'd be the first one telling. Shit.
Nigga, they all the same. So what sense does it make that we are boycotting our own people? Sometimes we can really be our own worst enemy. They don't even need to do anything to divide us. There's nothing more that they need to do. We can complete the mission ourselves. The self-hate, because that's what it is. It's self-hate. There is no way. I don't even know how this thing even got legs. How did this even get legs? You got people agreeing with it, like, yeah, when I go into the hair braiding shop, that's why black women ain't got edges, and that's why black women got bald spots or losing hair because they braid so tight. What? That's the reason why you're boycotting them?
That is a legitimate reason to not go somewhere. Yes. What the fuck is she talking about? Nigga, if I go to the barbershop and the nigga keep pulling my edge back, I'm not going over there no more. Or if my lineup is always crooked, I'm not going over there no more. So if you keep going somewhere and you're getting braids and they too tight and your hair keep falling out, at some point you ain't gonna have no hair to go back. What the fuck? Tim says they gave up the fight in their native born countries to move to countries they sent us to be slaves. Yeah. Facts, Tim. They gave up the fight in their own countries. They gave up the fight in their own countries, bro. Where they sent some of us to be slaves in, to come over here and join and try to live the same lifestyle as us. That and I always point that out. It's like they talk a lot of shit about us, but yet y'all are here. For some reason, for a lot of these immigrant groups, it never dawns on them, and I'm not sure if they haven't done their history enough, but if it wasn't for the shit that black Americans went through in this country, nobody, listen to me, nobody, let me say it again, like Umar, nobody would be here. Y'all do realize that, right? Not no Mexicans, not no Jewish. Oh, in World War II would have been totally different. They wouldn't have gave a fuck, bro. Okay? If it wasn't for the shit that we was going through over here, nobody would be over here. Asians wouldn't be over here. Africans, y'all, they didn't even want us over here when we was already here. You think they was gonna let some Africans come over here? Nigga, they would have had a ban on y'all niggas. All this border shit that Mexicans and others are just crossing, you think they would let that shit happen? It would have definitely been fences up. Walls would have been up. They probably would have had laws where they could shoot you for crossing that border. People they just kind of forget that. Tim says African countries saying they deserve reparations for slavery from West. Yeah, they be saying that shit. They just want to piggyback on what we got going on. Y'all the motherfuckers who sold us. Let's be honest. This country we deserve reparations from this country. And some of y'all African countries, y'all need to give black Americans reparations as well. Y'all owe us too. How about we do that? Y'all owe us too. Damn. Y'all like Yoo-Hoo? Y'all like Yoo-Hoo? Yoo-Hoo good in a bitch. I'm tempted to get up and get some more. Anyway.
Because you made a choice to let somebody braid your hair a certain way and you didn't get the desired results, so that's justification to boycott an entire community of people? Like, y'all dumb. I say it all the time to my friends and family. The majority of people are fucking stupid. And I mean that with my whole entire chest. Y'all are some dumb, ignorant ass people. Because this don't make no goddamn sense.
Hold on, what's up with the drink, Miss Paris? She say, nah, not that drink. What's wrong with Yoo-Hoo?
How you boycott your own people when you got people, other races, other communities that have done far worse to us than we do to each other? But you want to sit here and boycott your own people. I don't even have no more words because I'm really going to go off and get to cursing on here, and I don't need to be doing all that. Y'all need to grow up and do better. Matter of fact, let's make August 1st, you do go to an African business. If there's an African beauty supply, if there's an African, I don't know, corner store, whatever kind of business it is out there
Hell
that an
no.
African may have, go ahead and make sure y'all frequent it on August 1st. Let's counteract this ignorance, because this is fucking stupid. So goddamn dumb.
Living a dream.
I can't stand that bitch. Just over hearing her and looking at her big ass forehead. I don't want to hear that shit. Don't want to hear it. Dark says them African countries already got reparations and compensation when they sold some of us. Yeah, they sure did. They got a payday. That's why they kept it going for so long. They was willingly giving niggas away, wasn't it? Africans started playing victims. This is what Tim says. Africans started playing victims of colonialism when we tell them they owe FBA reparations. Yeah. Then they started talking about they owe reparations from England and all of these other places. Man, get the fuck out of here. Y'all gave that shit up. All them countries that came over there and extracted resources and did stuff, they just punked y'all out of all of that shit. Y'all got punked. Y'all lost a fight that you should have easily won. Y'all outnumbered them. They was in your territory, and y'all didn't know how to beat them. Y'all letting them cut your hands off and all of this shit, bro. Like, at some point, y'all got to rise up. Shit been happening to y'all for way too long. Y'all are, to me, they are scary people. They're fleers. I don't care what nobody. They're fleers, dog. Don't make no sense. Tim says FBA don't owe those who sent us to be slaves anything. Nope. That's a fact. She say they're nasty, just give me chocolate milk. I drink chocolate milk too. I drink both of them. I drink both of them. I like chocolate drinks. See, my brother, he really got this thing for chocolate drinks. I'm not like him, though. Like, he like chocolate drinks, bro. Like, I could drink them, but I can't drink them all the time. But he could drink he loves chocolate, candy, and chocolate drinks. He's a chocoholic. I like chocolate drinks. Like when they cold, like I like a good glass of chocolate milk. I love chocolate milk. But I like Yoo-Hoos too. And I didn't really start drinking them until my brother he always bombed, right? And I had one, it was cold. I like cold. I'm talking about I like stuff that's been refrigerated for a long and it's cold. Like I could drink the hell out of something that's cold. But I drank one of them cold ass Yoo-Hoos he had one time. I was like, bro, I gotta give me one. It don't taste like the chocolate milk. It don't, but it's still good. It's still good. She say it's nasty. I'll drink it. I ain't never had African food before either, Tim. I don't eat African. That shit look nasty. I always hear people, I tried it one time. It was okay. I say, how? That shit look like slop, bro. That shit look like some slop to me. I don't even want to try it. It hasn't even crossed my mind to try that shit. The first time I seen it, I was like, bro, that look nasty. Then I seen a nigga eating that shit with a big lump of dough or something. I was like, what the fuck? Like he take the dough and was like dipping in it. And that shit looked like snot. It was the consistency of snot. I don't know what it was. It was some green shit. I was like, man, hell no. If you don't go get me some fried chicken, because I can eat chicken every day, I would never eat no damn African food. Never. That shit look disgusting. Ugh. Blech. That's what I say to that shit. Then I seen this post right here from Don Salmon. He got a video tied to it, but I don't think it's the same thing as he's talking about. But he says, 300,000 black women lost their job just like that. I would never forgive Tariq. FBA, ADOS, and other xenophobic movements were encouraging black people to vote for Trump and not Kamala Harris. That's what a lot of this shit stems back to. They mad that we was railing against Kamala Harris. I don't give a damn. The MAGA, they are an idiot. And social media talking about boycotting African businesses. Bro, every time they keep bringing that shit up about 300,000 black women losing their jobs, it wasn't because of Trump. A lot of people, mostly black people, black women, are losing their jobs because their jobs or tied to AI. Okay? Remember all you black women who went to school and y'all just sitting down somewhere pushing a bunch of keys on a keyboard and inputting some information? They don't need you to do that. You're an HR lady and you make, I was making 150,000. They actually have AI HRs now. They don't need you to sit there and evaluate applications and talk to people about policy. They don't need you for that. AI can do that. That's why you lost your job. It was not because of Trump. It's because of technology, which has always been the case through time. Technology improves, people lose their jobs. But you know what also happens? People gain jobs. Sometimes when new technology comes about, new jobs arise that you didn't know was going to be a job. That's what it's about. It's not about Trump. It's not about all of this other stuff. It's about technology moving forward and your job is being obsolete. You're not needed to sit behind a computer and type in somebody's name, address, age. You don't need to do that. I can actually go on my computer and type a form and hit send, and it goes to some AI program that inputs the information automatically. Therefore, they don't need you to do that. Y'all was the ones going out, oh, I make this amount of money and I don't need no man. And you really wasn't doing nothing. You had no real skill. Let's be honest. Which is the reason why people who got skills like welding, carpentry, things like that, those jobs are now needed. Builders, those jobs are now needed. So your anger is directed at the wrong people and at the wrong things. AI took your job. That's the facts. You just want to be angry and have a convenient person to complain, to blame in Trump. I said complain. To blame in Trump and the Republicans. That's not the case. Technology just got you. You got sucked up by the technology era. Technological, whatever, however you say it. I'm fumbling over my words. Tim says they think if a Democrat become president in 2028 that they're going to get their old jobs back. Yeah, they really think that shit. People really believe it. Well, I ain't going to say people. I think, bro, it's majority of those are still black women because a lot of black men are coming off of that whole Democratic thinking shit. It's still a lot of black women that's tied to that Democratic Party. That's what that is. I hear more and more black men talking about everything but a Democrat. Why you think black women are so angry at black men? Because of that shit. But yeah, these Africans, man, like, come on. They're trying to make these points, but it's falling short to me.
In just 90 days, 300,000 black women have been kicked out of the workforce. This has disproportionately affected black women in education, health sectors, and community-facing roles. 300,000 black students have been coming on the internet talking about HBCUs and specifically Howard University, about how, one, they have additional bills, two, how past graduates have not had their graduation conferred, meaning that if they were trying to go to graduate school or if they were trying to get a job that required to prove that they had a bachelor's degree, they cannot do that because Howard has not solidified that these graduates have indeed graduated. In addition to the multitude of students who have had to set up GoFundMes to try to raise the money so that they can get their education. There are more countries on the continent of Africa than there is in the...
Which should tell you something. Why are you still trying to get some of these degrees that's not even going to pay you, let alone they're not even going to have jobs for you? That's how stupid some of these people are. Stop doing that. This is the truth. This is the truth. Women, whether you realize it or not, you're being forced back into your normal roles. You finna go back to the house. There, I said it. You finna go back to the house. Because a lot of y'all not finna do these hard labor skilled jobs. Some of y'all will. But overall, y'all not. Y'all finna have to bow down, find you a man, and be a helpmate. Whether you want to hear that or not, I'm just telling you the truth. The shit is coming to an end. That well is running dry. I make more money than men, and women is the most educated. Guess what? Along with women being the most educated, y'all are, I want to say now, the group that's most in debt with student debt. But I'll move on.
The rest of the world that have been banned from coming to the United States of America. And in addition to that, black people have also been targeted largely when it comes to deportations. But y'all are talking about African braid shop. Y'all are talking about black Americans not having any culture. Y'all are talking about each other as though you get the last laugh when the joke is actually on you.
Miss Paradise say, I'm definitely not a laborer. LOL, I don't know how my ancestors did it. Hey, I'm telling you, some of those skills come in handy. Because when I first graduated, maybe a year or two after I graduated, I became a welder. So I was actually thinking about going back into that at one point. But if you've ever welded, then you know, especially around summertime like now, boy, that shit is hot. That's a hot job. And then I don't know what they wear now. Maybe they got some new type of clothing that's a lighter clothing. But the clothing that I used to wear was like a big jacket, some sleeves, a helmet. So if you gonna be sweating all day long. And I really didn't have no issue with it. I was cool with it. I had got used to it. I used to work for a railroad company, and I used to build put the little top platforms on the rail cars and those ladders that you see that go up on the tanks, not the box cars, but the tank cars. I used to put those ladders and that little platform on the top. I used to weld it on there. Like, let me tell you, can't be scared of heights. But yeah, a lot of women not finna do that shit, bro. They just gonna have to accept their roles again. And I think, to be honest with you, I think a lot of them, at first, they're gonna be mad and not like it. But after a while, they're gonna be like, you know what? I would rather just kind of hang out and take care of kids. I don't want to be doing all of that shit, getting up and going outside and getting hot and sweaty. I'm not saying every woman is going to be at the house. And I think, you can find you something to do. Matter of fact, a lot of this is going to be some women where, you may have to help your husband if he has like his own business. Like be the secretary, do the paperwork. That'll give you something to do. I think a lot of women would like doing that. Maybe interviewing an employee or two for the business for him and shit like that. making bank runs and dropping off cash, something that'll give you some sense of purpose. I'm not saying every woman is just going to be in the house. Some women are probably going to be like, I don't want to do nothing. I would rather just sit in the house all day. There's going to be some women like that, and there's going to be others who would actually want to go, still have something to do. And I don't have an issue with that, but your overall thing of you just going to work every day, being away from the house for 8 to 10 hours a day, that shit is finna be over with. It's finna be over with. Just being honest. I seen this clip right here also. This was a white group. Even Jason was talking about it on his show, but I seen it first, okay? This goes to show you that Jason lives on X, because every time I get ready to talk about something, sometimes I've even taken topics off because I don't want people to think like, damn, he just watching Jason and then he do the same show. I'm not doing that. Obviously, we got the same shit going on in our algorithm because I follow him and I've seen him comment on these videos, and when he does, I'm like, damn, he gonna be talking about this shit. So either I gotta do it now or I'm gonna have to do it after him. But anyway, this video is talking about a group of white people who formed a community and they want to be by themselves. It's only for white people. And me personally, they don't want no gays, no blacks, no Jews. I don't have a problem with it. You know why? Because once again, black people, black Americans in this country, we can do the same thing. We can make our own enclaves where we live amongst ourselves. Basically everybody who want to do something with themselves and be comfortable and not have, same thing. We don't want to be a part of the LGBTQ community. We don't want drugs in our community. We don't want gangs in our community. We can all get somewhere and decide to do that. And keep out some of the black people who want to be a part of the bullshit. You want to have all that goofy shit? You can't be in this community with us. We can do the same thing that these white people are doing. So if you see some black people getting mad and saying that these people are racist and whatnot, who cares? We can do the same thing that they're doing. We can start our own communities. Matter of fact, within that community, we can have our own businesses. And I guarantee you this, we could even trade with some of these white communities if they had their own businesses. Like, look, we don't want to stay here, but look, y'all got these products. Okay, we got some products. Y'all buy from us. We'll buy such and such from y'all for the materials to make our product, whatever. We could do little shit like that. Some people may call me a segregationist, but in some ways, I feel like that would benefit us a whole lot. I think we was thriving when we was amongst ourselves. When black people lived amongst ourselves and we was in segregation, we was thriving. Black Wall Street and other places until they got burned down by white folks. But those places were thriving. They had their own businesses, had thriving communities. People were educated. It wasn't a bunch of violence going on. People were religious, just living their lives every day, day to day. They wasn't worried about a lot of stuff. Tim says, who told men about start doing like our fathers and grandfathers, getting married and hand the wife the entire check on payday, then days might be over. Them days might be over. Who told men to start doing like our fathers and grandfathers, getting married and hand the wife the entire check on payday? Them days might be over. Oh, yeah. He said, then Tim says, I seen that white-only community in Arkansas. Yep. I don't have a problem with it, bro. I don't. It's so many places that in this country that we can go. It's places that people are not unhabitated, not habitated. In middle America, it's tons of places. Everybody just want to live along the coast. That's the truth. And in the South, I love being in the South. Where I'm at in Texas, it's a place. It's tons of places down here where we can start our own communities. Hell, it's a community that I grew up in. Basically, that's all black, and it's another one down the road that my mom's family is from. It's all black people. They even have a festival. It's called the Turnip Green Festival. Y'all probably like, what is that? It's right around Juneteenth. It's in this little bitty community. Everybody goes down there, have a good time. They got food, music. It is what it is.
No blacks, no Jews, no gays. High up in the Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z, and this is a new update of age-old prejudice.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture effectively...
Boom. Say they want to preserve their culture. What's wrong with that? Black people, we can preserve our culture too. We can do the exact same thing, like I'm saying. Stop trying to find something to... See, they say they don't want you there, and you'll still have black people trying to go there. They racist. Why we can't go there? We want to be a part... That's stupid. They don't want you there, so why would you want to go there?
Effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out, even if...
You don't let everyone into your home.
Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And while the men do the physical labor, the women take care of the children who live here full time. It could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do.
You might be wondering how any of this can be legal. Return to the Land is structured as a private members association, which they believe allows them to discriminate.
You see how white people slick with it? You see how they use the laws? That's what I'm saying. Black people, we got to do the same thing. This stuff ain't hard. You can find your way around things. You can wiggle your way and weasel your way into stuff all the time. White people do it all the time. White people do it all the time. You say they trying to do that in Middle Tennessee? Who, the blacks or the whites? This ain't a coincidence. This is going to keep happening. This is a big movement amongst white people. This shit is happening more and more. And it's not just happening with white people. It's Muslim communities down here in Texas that got their own thing going on. They done build businesses and everything. They even trying to have their own law. They trying to shut some of it down because they think they're going to slowly try to get to Sharia law and start having all kind of bullshit like that going on. And that's what I don't agree with. Because this is a Christian country. I don't want no religion like that taking over. Even though there are some aspects of it that I like, but no. You say Nashville is a white haven already? We need to make us some black haven shit.
Discriminate on the basis of ethnicity, along with other factors.
Say your family owns 100 acres of land in Arkansas. They bound to collide with black people once they start spreading out further. Maybe so. But my point is, we could do the same thing, man. It's not, honestly, I think if we did the same thing and they was like in close proximity, I think it would be an understanding. Like, look, y'all stay over here, we stay over there. I think now it would be better because, people would just be able to coexist like that. Like, we just stay over here, man. We got our own shit going on. Y'all stay over there. All right, cool. I don't think it would be like back then, motherfuckers going burning up shit and tearing up shit. I don't think it would be like that because everybody got guns now. We can have guns and protect ourselves just like them. Things have changed.
That has yet to be tested in the courts and may well fail. The Arkansas Attorney General has said his office is now reviewing the matter as a result of our reporting, and that there is no room for racial discrimination in Arkansas or anywhere in.
So there. But like I say, me personally, I don't got a problem with it. We can do the same thing that they doing, dog. The same thing that they doing. I am not, oh my God, they starting up like they did in the 60s. No. If you living like that, you in a bad place, for one. You in a bad place. And you've convinced yourself of something that quite possibly ain't true. Just like I be saying. I'm not even going to get into that because I could go on and on. I'm not going to do it. But, how long? I've been on here for an hour and a half, man. I'm finna get off. Appreciate y'all coming through. Appreciate y'all checking out the channel. Appreciate y'all watching the live stream. Appreciate everybody who interacted with the show. Make sure y'all hit the like button for sure. Every time y'all come in, y'all hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. I'm assuming I got 4 likes and so. Okay, cool. Everybody who came in pretty much hit the like button. So I appreciate y'all for doing that. Anybody else, if you ever see this video later on, you catch it, like it, subscribe to the channel if you're new to it. Tim says, when white people run the local politics, they will use eminent domain to take black people land and homes in rural Arkansas and Tennessee. I hear you, but I think it's things we can do to stop a lot of that shit, bro. I don't, that stuff don't scare me, man. That don't. We need to get people who know the laws and know how to wiggle and weave through the laws like they do. That's all we got to do. We can't run around here being fearful. Oh, they gonna get into politics and okay, we need to get somebody in politics. I don't want to live like that, bro. I don't want to live like I'm scared. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not doing that, man. I'm just not. I don't want to live like that. That's that Democrat. I ain't saying you're a Democrat. I'm just saying that's just how they. I don't want to do this shit. That's a defeatist mindset to me. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody checking out the channel. Like I say, if you watching this on the replay, make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Leave comments also. And as always, man, I appreciate y'all checking me out. Peace.